Hello and welcome to our last Pilates class of the 6-week course. I hope you've enjoyed it so far and hopefully you're feeling those strength and postural and alignment benefits in your other exercise in your day-to-day life. Today, as a challenge, if you have some, you can add on some ankle weights. These are 0.5 kg, but don't worry if you haven't got any, you can do the whole class with that. So when you're ready, we're going to start today's class seated. I've got a pillow or a cushion close by here, so if you struggle to sit in a cross-legged position, you can just perch on your pillow, and there might be the option to use it in a couple of other exercises, so you can just keep one handy. Okay, ready to get going. So we're just going to start off here in a cross-legged position. You're going to take an inhale here to bring your shoulders up to your ears, and an exhale to roll them back and down. And again. And as you roll your shoulders down and away from you, imagine that you're just growing an extra inch up to the ceiling. Sitting up nice and tall. And last one. And then from here, we're going to place one hand down to the side, the other hand to the side of the head. Take an inhale here and lift up and out of the waist. Take a side bend. And then on the exhale here, we're going to drop our elbow down to take an upper body rotation. Inhale to come back into the center. Exhale to bring yourself up to seated. Other side, inhale, walk away. Exhale, taking your rotation. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, back into the center. Just a few of these, just in your own time here. Creeping the hands away from you. Opening up through those shoulder blades as we take our twist. And thinking about keeping the opposite sit bone on the floor as we do this, so not lifting up through the hips. A couple more here. Coming to that last one. Just placing one hand on each knee, and then we're just going to take some lovely rib rolls round one way, round the other, just to get that spine nice and warm. And reversing round. Just a light bit of mobilization before we get started in our main section. Coming to an end with that, we're going to start off today's class in a 4-point kneeling position. So your pillow here can just be out of the way here. You can put it to one side or in front of you, just so that it's not going to get in the way of this next exercise. So in our 4-point kneeling position here, we have hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath toes, and just to start off, we're going to open up the front of the body and the back of the body by doing a cat-cow. So you're going to take an inhale here, you're going to drop your belly button down to the floor, take your gaze forwards, and then on the exhale, tuck in the pelvis, take your gaze through in between your knees, press the mat away. So really connecting into the breath here. Feel those abdominals switch on as you take the exhale. And pelvis here is tucking under as you press the mat away. Last couple here. Coming to that last one. And flatten out the back here, so we're in our neutral spine. So we're going to start off with right leg lifts. So you take an inhale to prepare here. On the exhale, extend your right leg away, just floating the leg off the floor, squeezing the glutes, keeping the hips level. Inhale to bring it back down. And again, take an exhale here, extend, squeeze the glutes, lifting up that leg. Inhale to return. Now a couple of layers we can add on to this one. The first one here is to extend the left hand away from you, so opposite arm to leg reaching away. And bring it back in. Reach it away here, pressing the opposite hand down into the mat. And what's really careful here, guys, is that we don't lift up through one side of the hips. When I think about keeping the tummy muscles tight and not dropping through the back, what I do it in class is I go around with my little block and I do a block test to check that the back stays nice and long. If you're dipping here, your block is going to dip. So use that as a little bit of visualization here, just to keep that back nice and long and tummy nice and strong. The next layer we can add on to this one here, guys. We reach the hand and foot away here on the exhale. On the inhale, you bring the knee back and you take a big circumduction here of the left arm. Exhale to reach away. Circle it round here. So working on shoulder mobility as we take out a nice big circle with the arm, opening up through the chest. And here you can let that square from the shoulders and the hips open up as you circle it round. Nice and fluid with this movement. Remember your options here, guys. It's single leg lift with or without the arm. Two more on this side. And then on our next one here, guys, we're going to hold the right leg lifted and long. We're going to pulse that leg up with or without. Reach out of the opposite hand. Lift and squeeze. Yeah, squeeze. Keep reaching out through the fingertips if that arm is extended. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs. Sit yourself onto your heels. Flip the palms up to the ceiling and just take a breather here before we go over to the other side. Whew. Ready to come into our second side here. So same thing, this time with left leg. So we inhale to prepare, make sure that back is nice and long. And on the exhale here, extend the leg away from you, floating the leg up. Inhale, bring it back in. Notice how nothing moves here. So if you decide to add on opposite hand lift, opposite arm lift, it's the same principle here. We're not going to add the circumduction of the arm just yet. So just going for opposite arm to leg reach or leg extension here. Hopefully feeling a little bit stronger in the core on the second side as we've just worked the core in our first side round. Just be careful here we don't start to sit into the other arm, so keep pressing the mat away here so we're nice and strong. Couple more here and then I'm going to guide you through the arm circle. So when your leg is next to extended, you can then take an inhale here to drop the knee, open up to the other side, and an exhale to reach away. Don't forget to really think about extending all the way out to the tips of the toes before you come in and take that upper body rotation and twist. Well done, guys. We've got 3 more of those and then we're into our pulse. Keep it nice and fluid. Nice and slow. On that last one here, you're going to hold the leg lifted with or without the arm. We're going to pulse that leg up and up. Little squeeze of that glute. Keep reaching up through to the fingertips. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee underneath the hips. Sit yourself into a child's pose. Flip the palms up. Whew. And when you're ready, you're gonna bring yourself into a kneeling position. If you've got a cushion, you might just want to put it to the side of you here, and I will explain why in just a second. So here we're coming to a kneeling position. I'm going to demonstrate the exercise on my knees here, but your option here, if you've got dodgy knees, and can sympathise because I sometimes have dodgy knees too, you can do this seated, and then when we land our hand, you are going to come onto your elbow with or without the hips on the floor. I'll remind you of the option as we go along, but just to save me shifting around too much, you'll know what I mean when I explain it. So we're onto our knees here, hands are to the side of the head. We're going to take an inhale here to lift up and out of our waist towards our cushion, and an exhale to bring ourselves back. So on that exhale here, we're thinking about shortening this side. So obliques here are working. We're thinking about lengthening as we come into the side bend. And you have an option here to reach the arms away from you here. And this is gonna make things slightly more challenging. So if you're going for this option, just be sure to keep the pace. Keep it nice and smooth. Keep those shoulders down and away. Lots to think about here. Also as well here, you can imagine that you're holding a cushion here, otherwise the underneath arm can sometimes get lost at the bottom. So just keep the distance in between the hands the same. How are we doing? We have 2 more, and then we're gonna land the underneath hand. So on this second one here, land the underneath hand. Now you can be here on your cushion if you want to, or flat onto the floor. Just make sure that your palm is flat. So I'm gonna bring my hand all the way down to the mat. If you find that the heel of your hand tends to lift off, just maybe use your cushion for a bit of elevation there. We're reaching out through the fingertips here, and then on the exhale, we're coming into our side bend. Inhale here to reach away. Exhale here. Lovely big side bend. Inhale to reach. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating already. It's very hot where I'm recording today. It's muggy. Oh. Always complaining us Brits about the weather. Or maybe it's just because we're working hard, who knows. You're gonna hold your side bend here. On the exhale, you're gonna lift the leg up. Inhale here to reach. Exhale to lift. Inhale to reach. Lengthen out through the side body as you go. Now if you've got ankle weights on, you're gonna be feeling this in the glutes right about now. If you haven't got ankle weights on, you're still probably gonna start to feel that heat creep up right into the hips. Any second now. You've got 1 more here. Take the hand to the hip. Inhale to hold, exhale to bend and press. Inhale to reach away. Try not to drop the knee here. Whew. This is tough. I'm gonna say it, I'm just gonna put it out there. Use the breath here to help you. We have 3 more. Last 2. Last one, we're gonna hold the extension and we're just gonna pulse that leg up, up, up. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Oh, well done guys. Shake out those knees. Ready to go over to the second side. So, we're back onto both knees here. Hands start off to the side of the head, then we can lift them up. And when you're ready, we take an inhale here. Side bend over to the second side. If you used your cushion, maybe just make sure it is close by. Same principle goes here. Careful as well here not to suddenly add a little rotation. If you had 2 lights on your shoulders and on your hips, they would be facing forwards. And if you want to reach your hands up above the head, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through your mouth to bring you back into center. You've got 4 more just like that, and then we're going to land the underneath hand. This is a really good exercise here, guys, to target the core without doing sit-ups, because remember our abdominals wrap all the way around. So just make sure you're not rushing in and out of these, but you're really taking the time to contract the muscles and lengthen. On our next one here, we're going to land the underneath arm, extend one leg, reaching the hand out and away. Inhale here to reach, and then exhale, side bend over the leg. Inhale to reach, and exhale. Landing here with control. Couple more. And then on the last one, holding the hand down to the mat. Inhale here to reach away, exhale to lift up that leg. Inhale, tap and reach. Really find here that it helps to focus on the stretch rather than the heavy lifting. So if that helps you too, you can really think about reaching out through the top side of the body before we add on that leg lift. We have 2 more to the hold here. Remember to keep that knee facing forwards. Don't worry about getting that leg too high. It shouldn't be higher than the hip. And then here, holding the leg lifted, we inhale to hold, exhale to take a bend and press. Inhale, reach away. Exhale, bend. Inhale to reach. Whew. Really start to feel the hamstrings start to fire up at this point as well. It's amazing what 0.5 kg can do. It feels like I'm carrying a big log of wood or something like that on the end of my foot. Anyway, I'll stop complaining. You've got 1 more. We're going to hold that leg lifted and we're just going to pulse it up and up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. So from here, guys, we're going to do a lovely stretch over the legs. So just bring your feet slightly wider than the hips. We're going to take our hands into a prayer. You're going to take an inhale here to twist up and over to one leg, and an exhale here just to fold over the legs. Inhale to come back up, exhale into the center, inhale to twist, and an exhale here to fold. So you're thinking here about bowing towards the leg, keeping the spine nice and long. And you're going to feel this stretch maybe slightly in the hips, in the hamstrings. What you can do here, guys, I should have said at the beginning of the exercise, but you can perch on your pillow if you're feeling really quite tight in this position, in the hips and maybe in the hamstrings. So do use that cushion here if it's going to help you. How are we doing? One more on each side. Inhale, twist. Exhale to stretch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, center, and last one. Amazing. Coming into a C curve now. So pillow once again out the way. So starting off here, we're in a seated position, legs are bent, your hands are behind either leg. We inhale here to sit tall. On the exhale, we are going to take a C curve here. Just going to tuck it all in before we get going. Inhale here to sit tall, and an exhale, take a curve. Now if you want to, release the hands away from your legs, and that's going to allow you to sit a little bit deeper. And what we're working towards is finding that place of quiver. So that place where you literally have a little shake before you sit up nice and tall, and that's going to be where we know we're really challenging those abdominals, and we're going to start to build our strength. So work with what you've got. It's quite good about doing a class from home is that you haven't got the comparison of the person next to you in the studio, and you end up being, I think, a lot truer to yourself sometimes when you're working out on your own. So just go to that point where have a little shake, and it will look different for everyone. It might kind of vary from class to class, day to day. And then we're going to stay at the bottom here. Option 1 here with the hands. We take an inhale to twist, exhale into the center, inhale to twist, Exhale into the center. Option to do it with both arms. Once again here, up to you how far away you sit back from the knees. You might be feeling a little pull in the front of your hips, which is fine. They're just probably kicking in to assist the abdominals. Inhale over, exhale center. Grab one more. Staying in the center with or without the assistance of your legs, pulsing back and back and back. Tiny little pulses away. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lie yourself all the way down, onto your back. Take the arms above the head here. Inhale here to reach away from you, and then on the exhale, we're going to slowly start to come all the way back up. Inhale here to sit tall. Exhale here to sit yourself away from the knees. Inhale, tap the arms above the head, and then exhale to sit yourself all the way up. So just taking this in your own time. You want to make this slightly more challenging, then extend the legs away from you. So we're just trying to iron out any kinks in the back. Coming up to a flat back every time. You're tight in the hamstrings, keeping those legs bent, yeah? Hands behind the knees, or if you find this one really tough, especially if you've got poor spinal mobility, you can get a band and you can put it around your feet, and then that can help you sit yourself up. But see if you can give it a go. There might be a little bit of impetus there to start off with, which is fine. We're trying to minimize any kind of jagged edges of this, trying to keep it all smooth if we can. Last one here, coming up to a tall seated position, we're going to do a reverse plank. So hands come underneath the shoulders. Fingertips ideally need to be facing the same way as toes. If you end up needing to turn up the hands slightly with this one, that's fine. Just make sure that our hands don't suddenly start facing all the way to the back of the mat. So here we're thinking about opening up through the chest. On the inhale here, you're going to squeeze the glutes, and we're going to lift the hips up to the ceiling. Exhale to bring it back down. Now if you find this one really tough, you can bend the knees, and this is just going to give you a little bit more of a base to press away from. So a couple of options there to work with. And this is to open up the chest to improve the mobility and the strength of our shoulders. It's a tough one, this one. I think a lot of us are used to kind of closing off the chest, maybe in day-to-day life, if you're at a desk, or if you're just maybe not that kind of posturally aware. Really easy to kind of get into bad habits. So this is a really good one just to open up through the front of the body. And it's called a reverse plank here because we're also thinking about tightening the tummy, squeezing the glutes as we lift up. And slowly lowering down. Another little option here, guys, if you want a challenge, inhale to lift, exhale to lift one leg, inhale to lower, exhale to lower the hips. Alternating legs here, try not to let those hips move as you lift up the legs. We're nearly down to our mat. We're going to do 2 more, or 1 leg lift on each side. And then slowly lowering down, just release the wrists. Make your way down. So lying on your back here, legs bent, feet flat on the floor. And from here, just place your hands on your stomach. So your little finger is just kind of hovering on your hip bone, and then your thumbs are pointing towards your ribs. So hands are splayed here. Now I want you to think about keeping this connection the whole time as we start to lift up the legs. We're going to take an inhale to prepare. On the exhale, you're going to bring the right leg up to tabletop. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to lift up. And just notice what the stomach is doing here. We want to think about flattening through the core, drawing the belly button to the spine. and also not shifting or lifting the lower back. Your option 2 here is inhale to prepare, exhale, lift one leg to tabletop, lift the other leg, inhale, lower, exhale, low, and just alternating legs as you do this one. Thinking about keeping the shape of the legs the same, not dropping the heel down towards the bum. Right angle in those legs. Don't lower, bring the foot down too close towards you. Couple more here, and then we are going to hold our tabletop. And holding your tabletop here. Both legs into tabletop, reach the hands away from you. On the inhale, you're going to carry the arms above you. We're going to take one foot tap. Exhale here, palms come down. Inhale here, other side. Now remember what we said about the hands being stayed on the stomach. So you imagine that they're there and don't suddenly open up through the front of the body or lifting the upper back off the floor. Lower back even. It'd be quite impressive if you could lift your upper back off the floor. Your next layer for this one is to extend one leg away from you. Next layer here, guys, is to lift upper body off of the floor. Now, if you've got ankle weights on like me, and we're just pretty much torturing ourselves right now, you're going to feel this in the quads as well as those abs. If you do want to go for another layer here, guys, you probably have guessed what it's going to be. Both legs extend. Amazing stuff, guys. We're going to go for 6 more of whatever option you're doing. Careful not to speed it up. Really working deep into those core stabilizers. You've got 2 more. And on the last one, we're going to go into the 100. So option 1, feet on the floor, inhale for 5, exhale for 5, pump the arms. Upper body on or off the floor. Option 2, legs bent. Option 3, legs extended. Really pumping those arms, guys. Inhale in through the nose for 5. Exhale out through the mouth for 5. Shortening the distance between the ribs and the hips. Last exercise, guys. We're nearly there. We have 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Take a full body stretch. Really great work, guys. We're just going to finish off with a glute and hamstring stretch here. So if you just want to take your ankle weight off, if I can work out how to do it. There we go. Extend the leg away from you. Let's just go for a little flex and a point of the foot here. And just dropping the ankle onto the opposite knee, pulling the opposite leg through. Just taking a couple of moments here just to breathe. You can feel the chin lifting up towards the ceiling. Maybe just take some head and neck turns here to release any tension in the neck. Last breath here, ready to go over to the other side. Lifting the foot up to the ceiling, I'm going to take my ankle weight off. And I tell a lie, guys, I think I've been telling you that my ankle weights were 0.5 kg. They were 1 kg, so only 0.5 kg more, but they really spice things up. Worth getting if you've seen. I think they do them on Amazon. I picked mine up from Lidl, so always good to keep an eye out in random places like that. When you're ready, just dropping the top ankle onto the opposite knee. And just breathe into this stretch. And last breath. And from here, you can just rock yourself up to a seated position. And we are going to finish it there, guys. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a look at this week's bar class, and please do leave me some feedback as to how you found the course, what differences you've noticed the most, what you'd like to see more of, and yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Thanks, guys.